A new website dedicated to documenting alleged Israeli actions in Gaza has gone live. While I can't show the videos here because they are extremely graphic, the site reportedly contains nearly 65 videos, more than 18,000 photographs, geolocation data, and victim information gathered in one searchable database. According to its creators, the website was designed to make documentation of the conflict easily accessible for journalists, researchers, content creators, and anyone seeking information about allegations of war crimes and genocide in Gaza. The database reportedly includes a searchable archive, a source index citing more than 300 journalists, and an expanding collection of documented incidents. The platform was created by a collective calling itself Israel Exposed, which says its goal is to preserve evidence and documentation of events in Gaza despite communication blackouts, the deaths of journalists and media workers, and the risk of digital evidence being lost. Supporters of the project argue that preserving photos, videos, geolocation data, and eyewitness accounts helps ensure that evidence remains available for public examination and future investigations. They contend that this documentation can be reviewed independently rather than relying solely on competing narratives. If you want to examine the material yourself, you can visit the website and review the sources and documentation it provides. As with any conflict, it is important to compare information from multiple credible sources and distinguish between verified evidence, allegations, and opinion. Several major news stories are developing today. The Trump administration will not seek new bids to repair the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, according to Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. Speaking on Sunday, Burgum addressed renewed questions about the troubled restoration project and the taxpayer money involved. Like President Donald Trump, Burgum said he is 100% sure that vandals caused the damage to the century-old reflecting pool on the National Mall. Trump has claimed that a 350-foot gash was cut into the pool's liner during recent renovations, while Burgum clarified that the damage consisted of multiple cuts totaling approximately 350 feet. He also said the reflecting pool will need to be at least partially drained in the coming weeks so repairs can be completed. In sports, FIFA has cleared U.S. men's national team forward Folarin Balogun to play in the United States FIFA World Cup round of 16 match against Belgium in Seattle. Multiple sources confirmed the decision after it was first reported by The Athletic. Balogun, who scored the game-winning goal in the United States round of 32 victory over Bosnia and Herzegovina, had been shown a controversial red card later in that match, resulting in an automatic one-game suspension. According to reports, FIFA later determined that the video assistant referee should not have recommended an on-field review of the incident. Although U.S. Soccer had no formal appeal under FIFA rules, the governing body ultimately allowed Balogun to participate in Monday's match. Balogun currently leads the United States with 3 goals in the tournament. Meanwhile, authorities battling the week-old Willow fire west of Leadville, Colorado, issued new evacuation and pre-evacuation orders after the wildfire expanded by nearly 1,000 acres in just 24 hours. The new evacuation area includes Catherine Road, which provides access to popular campgrounds and the trailhead for Mount Massive, Colorado's second highest peak. Fire crews are using controlled burns, aircraft slurry drops, and the area's natural terrain to slow the fire's southward spread and steer it into higher elevations where there is less vegetation to fuel the blaze. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, residents at the center of the country's latest Ebola outbreak are placing their hopes in experimental treatments as researchers begin to closely watch the clinical trials. The study, launched at Bunya's Evangelical Medical Center in Ituri province, is evaluating 2 potential Ebola treatments in an effort to combat the growing outbreak. Researchers and medical staff say the urgency of the situation has overshadowed any formal ceremony, as they work to provide new options for patients and help contain. Yuli 4 News Roundup, Wimbledon, America's 250th anniversary, World Cup history, Supreme Court, and Iran. Madison Keys celebrates Independence Day with Wimbledon victory. London, July 4th, Reuters. Madison Keys celebrated Independence Day in style by defeating 6th seed and last year's Wimbledon finalist Amanda Anisimova 3-6, 6-2, 6-3 in an All-American third-round match on center court. Anisimova started strongly, using her powerful serve to take the opening set. After recording 20 aces in her previous victory over fellow American Sofia Kenin, she appeared poised to continue her impressive form. However, her serve faltered in the second set as she struggled with her ball toss and was broken twice, allowing Keys to seize control of the match. Keys capitalized on the momentum shift, winning the final 2 sets to advance to the 4th round and mark the 4th of July with one of her biggest victories of the tournament. Meanwhile, there was disappointment for American tennis fans as Venus and Serena Williams withdrew from their highly anticipated doubles match due to Serena Williams' knee injury. Trump marks America's 250th anniversary with National Mall Rally. Washington, July 4th, Reuters. President Donald Trump celebrated the United States' 250th anniversary with a campaign-style rally on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., concluding weeks of nationwide commemorations that have drawn both celebration and criticism. Across the country, Americans marked Independence Day with fireworks, parades, concerts, and community events. Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4, 1776, hosted free cupcakes and a 6-hour concert, while New York welcomed visitors with an international display of tall ships. In Washington, Trump placed himself at the center of the national celebration. His evening rally featured military flyovers, an expanded fireworks display, and patriotic ceremonies held among the nation's historic monuments. The annual July 4th celebration in the Capitol traditionally attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors. This year's event also included heightened security measures, with attendees facing extreme summer heat and the possibility of severe thunderstorms. Mohamed Salah leads Egypt to historic World Cup success. Egypt captain Mohamed Salah added another remarkable achievement to his legendary career by helping lead Egypt to its most successful FIFA World Cup campaign ever. Egypt earned its first ever World Cup victory with a 3-1 comeback win over New Zealand on June 21st. Reflecting on the achievement, Salah said, "What happened today is history for us, as Egyptians. It seems to other teams it's okay, it's fine. You see a lot of teams win games, but for us, as Egyptians, it doesn't happen often." Just 12 days later, Egypt made even more history by defeating Australia in a dramatic penalty shootout during the round of 32, securing the nation's first ever World Cup knockout stage victory. The historic run has become a defining moment for Egyptian football and further cemented Salah's legacy as one of the country's greatest athletes. Supreme Court term highlights relationship between Trump and Chief Justice Roberts. Washington, July 4th, Reuters. Although President Donald Trump and Chief Justice John Roberts have sharply different personalities and leadership styles, the Supreme Court's most recent term demonstrated how their interests frequently aligned. During the court's 9-month term, which concluded earlier this week, several major rulings favored the Trump administration. Roberts, known for his institutional and measured approach, presided over decisions that ultimately benefited the president on several key legal issues. Legal observers noted that despite their contrasting public images, the outcomes of the term highlighted an important intersection between Roberts' judicial leadership and Trump's policy objectives. Massive crowds gather in Tehran for Ayatollah Khamenei's funeral. Large crowds gathered in Tehran as Iran began 6 days of funeral ceremonies for Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who Iranian officials say was killed along with several family members during Israeli and U.S. airstrikes on Tehran more than 4 months ago. Iranian authorities described the ceremonies as both a national memorial and a demonstration of unity and defiance. Officials predicted that millions of mourners could participate in events taking place across the country. Thousands of mourners assembled outside Tehran's Grand Mosalla Mosque, where Khamenei's body had lain in state before beginning a funeral procession that Iranian officials said would continue to several locations throughout Iran before burial in his hometown. Foreign dignitaries from several countries, including Russia, China, Pakistan, Iraq, India, and Turkey, attended memorial events or sent official representatives. state media broadcast images showing 5 flag-draped coffins inside the mosque, including one said to contain Khamenei's 1-year-old granddaughter, whom Iranian officials said was killed in the same airstrike. The ceremonies come amid a fragile ceasefire following months of conflict. During a speech marking America's 250th anniversary, President Trump referenced the military campaign against Iran, stating that the United States had knocked the hell out of Iran.